Hey guys, this is Brittany. This is my post for Module 3. By far my most favorite chapter that we've had to read so far. I'm finally addressing all of the failures in the past modules and theories, and the fact that we keep on studying the small group of the same white men from very prestigious universities. So I felt like it finally addressed those things that I was feeling so frustrated with continuing to read chapter after chapter, and finally becoming a focus point. I feel like for me, it was a very eye-opening chapter. The fact that I just connected so deeply with the fact of finally being able to recognize in other people the oppressions that dwell on their minds. Being a white female, I obviously have a very small glimpse of oppression as it is in the world, and I don't see the larger oppressions that press in upon others. And for the text to really address it, and really show you in such a human way, I felt was very emotional. I felt was very enlightening for me personally, for something that I hope to continue learning and hope to impact upon with my higher education experience and career. So it was very impactful to me in that sense. It was also impactful to me in the fact that the group that I do work with tutoring are majorly, if not all, black females. So I feel like coming into it and really understanding the reasons behind the values, the culture, really understanding, what drives them, is very enlightening. I mean, coming in as a white woman, you obviously need to understand the oppressions that they have gone through, the isolation. Just that feeling of isolation that is detailed upon in our different texts was just very eye-opening to me, and something that I hope to address with my career. Some really big highlights for me, the different models that we have been reading about in the past, namely multiple dimensions of identity. On page 161, the intersectional model of multiple dimensions of identity, and page 187, both of the Jones and Abbs texts. For page 187, it'd be the critical race theory model of multiple dimensions of identity. Just those previous models really merging with race, just really bringing new life to them. I believe for one of those, and I believe, well, for both of them really, race was part of the multiple dimensions of identity that we read about, but it wasn't at the forefront. So for them to put it at the forefront, and to really study it in that manner, I just felt like was so effective and really changed my whole outlook of the dimension model. What was also particularly effective for me was reading the text. Derek Bell's Faces at the Bottom of the Well. As an English major, I just really connected with the text from the standpoint of being a scenario. I didn't find the second story also connecting, just because it was a proposed horrible tragedy, as a further vehicle for the discussion. But the first story I felt a huge connection with, when Neba was so angry at Jason for choosing Sheila, a white woman, over her, who had really not only been a female companion for him, but had really brought life to the organization Quad A when he hadn't been able to, when he had been injured in I think it was a bomb. But just really connected with the human aspect, the emotional aspect, that the models and theories do capture in a way, but can't catch quite as well as the story. The failures in the models and theories was sadly that with some diverse groups who aren't able to really capture who they are in these models and theories, namely Native Americans, really struck home for me. Just the fact that they're such a diverse group in and of themselves that to study them really wouldn't be too effective, since there are so many tribes. I found that really eye-opening, since we kind of blanket Native American versus Cherokee, and all the other different tribes. Very embarrassing, only in one moment. But the fact that we can't study them so effectively, and that they deserve it just as well, because they can feel isolated in the fact that they're trying to connect with their culture and trying to keep their culture alive, and still trying to battle with this persona, this racial identity of coming into college and really transitioning. So I felt like that was really eye-opening. Another failure was the fact that there wasn't too many studies in higher education for what we're doing, which I'm going to find very interesting for the paper. But just the fact that we haven't had many studies there, and if there are many studies with a higher education with a certain model theory, the validity is really hard to study. So those are just two major failures, things hopefully that will be addressed in the future. But I found it to be a very eye-opening chapter and cannot wait to hear what you guys have to say about it. I will talk to you soon. Bye.